All right, we have recently witnessed a spate of attacks against Hindus in Bangladesh who are practicing the religion in peace. Over the last few months, countless temples have been desecrated, idols defaced, houses vandalized, and devotees assaulted. These atrocities against Hindus in Bangladesh are a cause of deep concern. In particular, the Bangladeshi authorities have cracked down on the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Just last week, three ISKCON seers, Chinmoy Krishna Das, Ranganath Syama and Rudrapati Kesab Das were arrested. This was followed by bank accounts being frozen and growing demands from prominent lawyers in Bangladesh to ban the organization. But that's not all. Open calls for the slaughter of ISKCON devotees were also raging in the streets in Bangladesh. And today, Bangladeshi authorities denied permission to 54 members of ISKCON to cross into India despite possessing valid travel documents. The devotees who arrived at the Benapole border were stopped by immigration police who claimed they lack specific government permission required for travel. The targeting of ISKCON in Bangladesh has sparked deep concern about the condition of Hindus in Bangladesh. To discuss more, we have a very special guest joining us on the broadcast. Baladeva Dasa, Latin America Director of ISKCON, is joining us on the show. Sir, appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much for being here. How do you react to the ISKCON priests being arrested in Bangladesh? What went through your mind when you heard about it?
Hare Krishna, and all of you. Thank you for invite us to share our point of view about the situation. First of all, it must be made clear that Chinmoy Krishna Das is a former member of our institution. He doesn't belong to ISKCON, nor does he represent our ideology of our way to thinking in the face of this complex situation. Of course, ISKCON is against the deprivation of freedom of any individual who represents a religious minority. If their arrest is unjustified and only based on fake news or unfounded allegation. At the same time, we give a vote of confidence to the justice system in Bangladesh that they will conduct a clear, objective investigation free of political or religious bias.
So the government of Bangladesh has accused ISKCON of being a fundamentalist radical religious organization. How do you respond to these ludicrous charges?
Yes, of course, ISKCON has nothing to do with such an organization like that. At the same time, you can corroborate the information that the High Court of Bangladesh rejected a petition seeking to ban ISKCON in the country. The petition filed by the Supreme Court lawyer, something like Mr. Monin Odin, something like that, cited media reports alleging misconduct by ISKCON and asked the court to curb our activities. However, the High Court refused to take any action, stressing the completely absence of substantial ground to justify such an extreme measure. The judge even urged the government to take a necessary step to curb the ongoing unrest or social agitation in the country. Unfortunately, people of goodwill are falsely informed by sensational media outlets that have less than, we can say, noble purpose. In fact, we remember that in 2021, we suffered an attack by a mob on our temples, which ended the innocent life of two of our young monks due to the fake news that was later denied or declared untrue. Sadly, no one was in jail for this very sad situation.
So do you think that Hindu lives are under threat under the Muhammad Yunus government in the country in Bangladesh, and why is it so?
Yes, the threat against religious minorities has existed in Bangladesh with other governments as well. We don't believe that the lives of Hindus are threatened by the Yunus government, but by radical and extremist people who justify their violence and hatred in any way, even using the sacred message of God that He has given at different times through the scriptures and through His messengers. ISKCON has a very good relationship with the government and the army of Bangladesh, and they are committed to protecting us in case of attacks. But you can understand how difficult it is for them to protect us when a big mob of people driven by hatred against religious minorities are attacking us. I would like to mention something that it perhaps outside the tragic framework of the situation, but it may be able to help to calm down the social tension between the people of Bangladesh. You know, historically in Argentina, where I live, all people of different religion and cultures live in peace. And also we have developed an emotional closeness with millions of citizens in Bangladesh due to a common passion for football or soccer. This goes back years ago when Diego Maradona won the World Cup, and then when with Lionel Messi again did the same, the emotional ties become stronger. So in the name of our good friendship and mutual appreciation, I call upon Bangladesh citizens to peace and also to learn about who we are, what we do, by contacting our ISKCON centers so that people there can see for themselves the message of unity and brotherhood that we are giving. And we also humbly ask them not to be guided toward unjustified hatred against us. ISKCON is a blessing for all humanity. That is delivering a message of peace and brotherhood for all without distinction of race, social status, or religion.
So please tell us more about ISKCON, its history, the message that it preaches, and why would anybody in their right mind misconstrue the ISKCON as a radical organization?
Yes, when our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, came to the West, he taught us a message of unity in diversity. It is called Achintya Veda, a Veda Tattva philosophy, proclaiming the unity of the world through an inclusive understanding centered on loving and selfless service to God, whatever religion you profess. ISKCON is given many benefits of spiritual knowledge to the world and even solidarity aid in emergency situations, delivering food around the world through our Food for Life programs. We also actively participate in interfaith meetings with the idea of showing to the people in a practical way that it is possible to live and coexist in a peace despite the difference in a world where people really need to live in peace. In my personal case, I have good friends who belong to Islam who always explain to me that Islam is a religion of peace. Unfortunately, there are fundamentalists who doesn't understand this and use this sacred message of God to, for their own, we can say, selfish interests. Yes.
So would you like world leaders to call out Bangladesh government, which is run by Islamist fundamentalists for their atrocities against Hindus? Do you think that's turning into a theocracy as compared to a number of countries in the Middle East as well that follow Islam to the extent where they can be called radicalized?
But in one sense, we don't believe that the current Bangladeshi government is headed by unfair fundamentalists. The fact that they rejected the attorney request to classify ISKCON as a fundamentalist shows that the judiciary is fair. We are also confident that the President Yunus, being a Nobel Peace Laureate, will live up to his name and be fair to us. Of course, if in Bangladesh government there are Islamic fundamentalists or fundamentalists of any religion who promote hatred toward religious minorities, they should be called to reflection, because every citizen of Bangladesh has the right to live no matter what their religion caste or race is.
So, what is your appeal to the government of India at this point in time? You know, we definitely are in a position where we can make a difference. We can, in fact, influence Bangladesh to some extent, but so far, you know, India has not practiced that goodwill.
Yes, of course, any of us can make the difference. Of course, we ask to the Indian government to perhaps create a permanent dialogue commission between India and Bangladesh, to have a continuous dialogue with Bangladesh in order to create ties of brotherhood for the future. We believe that sincere and fraternal dialogue is the only way to achieve a real solution of peace between two historical fraternal countries, which have a lot of cultural heritage in common. Many of our great gurus in Vaishnavism were born in the Bangladesh area. At the same time, we offer, if they accept our ancestral wisdom, as help in this purpose.
So, do you think ISKCON is under threat in Bangladesh, and do you fear you will have to shut down your organization in the country of Bangladesh?
Of course, the integrity of our members is threatened. That is a fact. ISKCON is made up of the members of our institution. If they are at risk, ISKCON is at risk. But for us, the life of our members and the life of any person are more important than the institutional aspect. So in that sense, we are more concerned about the life of any person than about losing the institutional body that represent us.
So, appreciate you took out the time and spoke to us, and thank you for this heart-to-heart conversation. Really appreciate it.